So good morning to you on this muggy day. I hope the sun just stays under the cloud because I think it's gonna get burning hot if it comes out. But we had a fun time in Forest City, Iowa, getting our camper fixed. It was, you know, you think that it's gonna be a um, boring, and maybe we do a lot of things outside of there, but it was fascinating because we got to the Winnebago factory and there's people there from all over the country and to get their campers fixed. So you pull into this big parking lot in front of their fix-it center, and they have, places where you can plug your camper in and you just plug in and there's people all around you. And at 7 a.m. on the day, we got there Sunday night. So we camped there Sunday night, and then 7 a.m. the next morning, you go and get in line and they assign you a person that comes out and you explain what you need done. And then they take your camper for the day. They told us it would probably take 3 days to fix it because there's a lot of rigmarole with the awning and all this. You have to take it totally apart to do electrical things. And anyway, so they take it for the day and then they give it back to you at 3. And then you plug in again somewhere. They have a big area where you can camp and camp the night and start over again the next day. So it was really interesting. But we met all these people and we learned a lot about, most of them are our age or older. We met one couple that they'd quit their jobs. They had a 4-year-old and they were just traveling the country, but most people were our age or older. And, we learned a lot about how to find places to camp. And so it was good. Yeah. So it made me think of that old saying where when whatever situation you get into, if you look for the good and be open, that many times there's a lesson involved with that as well. So it was really an enjoyable experience, especially when you looked at it that way. So let's just turn inward for a moment. Maybe you can think of a few things that come to mind that you thought were not going to be so much fun, but that turned out to be a great experience. Or you might have learned something even if it wasn't a great experience. And take a moment to just check in with your physical body, see how you're feeling. Feel your spine. Please bring hands to heart center. And just set an intention for your day, for your practice. May we all remember to look for the good. If we maybe can't see the good immediately, look for the lessons. And definitely feel the grace encompassing you. Please lower your hands, open your eyes, and just reach behind you so you can lean back a little bit. And then broaden your clavicles, lift your heart, stretch out. And then come on back up. Bring your right hand out to the side. Stretch your left arm over. And then maybe reach the left hand towards the floor. So you're in a little twist now to the right. And then walk both hands to the front and stretch out that way. And then coming up, walk your hands to the left now. Land your left hand, stretch your right arm up and over. So grounded through both your sits bones. And come on back up. And let's do that same thing again, but this time stretch your legs out long. Reach back. You can even turn your fingers out a little bit. Think shoulder blades on back. Run the clavicles, lift the heart. You can do whatever you want to with your head. Just keep the back of your neck nice and long. And then come on up. And to the right. Put your left arm over. And then maybe add the left hand down. Little twist. Stay grounded through both sits bones though. And then walk your hands forward, maybe to your shins, ankles, feet, wherever it works for you. Press your heels down. Feel a nice long stretch to your spine. And then walking the hands to the left side. Just engage that little twist to start. Keeping both sits bones down. And then maybe sweep that right arm up and over. Stretch here. And then come on up. And bring your knees up. Feet right flat. And lean back. Stretch up to Navasana. You can do it here. You can hang on. You can extend all the limbs if you want. Thinking, lift the heart, draw the arms into the socket. Good. And then bring the feet down. Reach the hands back again. And I'm going to have you turn the hands out and bring the shoulder or the hands a little wider than shoulders. Feet hip distance. And then start by lifting your heart. And support your shoulders front and back and maybe lift your hips for Bottanasana. Keep the heart lifted. I like to just keep my head upright because it feels better, but it's hard to do. Good. And then come on back down. Go ahead and hug or grab your shins and roll to your backs. Hug your knees in. Just rotate the knees a little bit, warming up. And then bring the shins parallel to the floor. So your knees are above your hips. Bring your fingertips to the back of your head. Think really long back of neck as you lift your head and your shoulders up. And then extend one leg straight. And then as you bring it in, extend the other leg. You can go as low as it feels possible for you to keep that good engagement in the core. Well, good. Do 5 more. Just go slow. Just keep resisting. Pretend like you're going through quicksand. Good, and then relax. Hug your knees in. Couple breaths. Trying to get you warmed up because I know it's so cold. Let's do that again. Fingertips to the back of the head, shins parallel. Lift. And this time, as you extend one leg and the other, you're going to move the elbow to the opposite knee. Just go slow, keeping core engagement. Good, and relax. Hug your knees in. Maybe rotate them side to side a few times. And then just grab the kneecaps. Push the knees away. Feel a curve in the low back. Feel a nice long neutral spine. Your feet just dangle. And then set the feet down right under the knees, hands by your hips. And just press into your feet, lift your hips up to Satu Bandha. A nice stretch along your core where you just worked hard. And then go ahead and put your bum back down. Hug your knees in. Again, roll to the right side and push on up to all fours now. And in all fours, just start to move through cow and cat. And you can go as slow or as fast as you want. I'm going to go super slow today. So I can really feel each vertebrae moving. You need to add extra shifts in, you can. And then pause with the flat back. Let's do bird dog. So extend the right leg. Think core, hold you stable, and the left arm. And then very slowly round again, bring elbow to knee. And then extend it back out, elbow to knee. 3 more times if you can. And like the air is quicksand still. And when you've done 5, bring the hand and the knee down and sit back to a little child's pose. Check in with your knees. Rest your wrists. Entertain a really deep, complete breath. And then please make your way back up to all 4s, and we'll do that on the other side. So extend the left leg, add the right arm. And then 5 times, very slowly, elbow to knee. Moving through that quicksand. And when you've done 5, plant your hand and your knee back down, keeping your toes curled under. Just walk back to Vajrasana. You need a spacer under your knees. Just notice that and do it. You can hold on to your elbows or your elbows, your heels. Oh my gosh. And lift your heart a little bit, possibly. And then walk back out. Stretch your feet long. And let's do this. Extend the left arm and thread it underneath the right. Notice that nice stretch. Draw your sternum back a little bit. You'll feel it in your left shoulder. It feels so good. Good. Unwind. And let's switch sides. Left, right arm up. And thread it under. Sternum draws back. And please unwind. Keeping the feet stretched long and pointing straight back. Sit back again. See how that feels. You can walk your hands back. Lift your heart. Broaden your clavicles. Oh, feels good. And then walk forward again. And swivel your right foot to the side. Extend your left leg. Just do that little side Vasisthasana. But this time I really want you to lean back, press into your foot, open your heart a little bit more. It's not really a side plank. It's more of a heart opening. Good, and then come on. Back through center of all fours and switch sides. Swivel the left foot, extend the right. You can even bend the right knee a little bit to really get a heart opening here. I like to keep my elbow bent just to feel the shoulder blades on the back, broadening of the clavicles. Good, and come on in. Now, Virasana. So for me, I have to go a little wider, heels wider. You might need a block to sit on or a blanket. Sit down in between the heels if that works. Maybe lean back. Just let it adjust for a moment. I know. You can decide how far you want to go. Try not to scoop your tail. It's a lot of pressure on your low back. Keep your heart lifted. You want to go all the way back, you can. I'm not doing it with my knee anymore, so good. And then slowly make your way back out. Ooh, hoo, hoo, hoo. Bring your hands forward of your shoulders, curl your toes, lift your knees up into a downward facing dog. Walk out your dog. Take your time to really feel all parts of your feet engaged, all parts of your legs engaged. Weight spread wide on your hands. Clear out to the fingertips. Good, and then bringing your feet a little closer together, extend your right leg. Point and flex your toe or move it, your ankle in a circle if you want. And then bringing that foot down, switch. And bring it down. Come forward to a plank. And try this. Keep the plank so your back stays the same. Just lower your knees towards the floor and then bring them back up to plank and then stretch back to down dog. And do that again. Plank, hold it really strong in your shoulders, lower the knees almost to the floor, stretch back into plank and push back downward facing dog. Last time, plank, lower the knees, almost touching the floor, stretch back out into plank and push back to downward facing dog. Go ahead and lower your knees now and lower all the way to the floor. Stretch your arms by your hips, stretch your feet long, long side body, head of the arm bones back, broaden the clavicles, lift your head, lift your chest. Maybe lift your feet if you're ready for that. Shalabhasana. Good. Stretch your hands wide like you're flying an airplane. Bring your hands by your chest. Press down until your feet come back down and lift to cobra. And just stay for a few breaths, feeling that nice long stretch in your spine. And then go ahead and lower back down. Bring your hands under your forehead. Relax everything. It does feel good. I have to say, push back to a child's pose, but come down to your elbows. So your elbows are in front. Bring the palms of your hands together, and then bring the prayer hands up behind your head. Stretch out your triceps. And coming back up, sorry, he's got a very loud bark. Downward facing dog. I know. I'm babysitting Quinn's dog, Ozzy, and he's a big boy. And step your feet up towards your hands, forward fold. And just kind of sway forward and back. And then come all the way up to standing. Tadasana. Take a moment there. Step your feet a little wider, not real wide, but a little wider. Turn your toes out a little bit and come to a squat position and bring your hands to your heart center, or you can keep them on your thighs if you want. You're just going to lean forward a little bit and lift your heels and lower them, and do that 5 times. Lift, lower, lift, lower. I think that's 4. And finally 5. Good. Lean forward again, forward fold. And just roll one vertebrae at a time all the way up to standing. Standing on your right foot, lift your left foot up behind you and see if you can find the foot or the ankle. Find balance. Use your core. Maybe extend your right arm. And release. And switch sides. You can use a wall if you're having trouble with balance today. Knee beside knee. Hip creases back. Low belly draws up. Lengthen up. And release. Good. Grab your blocks and come up to the front of your mat. And inhale, stretch your arms up. Maybe bend your elbows, lean back, lift your heart. Keep your arms or your armpits hollow. Stretch up. Good. Reach the arms back behind you. Interlace. Broaden the clavicles. And maybe fold forward. You can bend the knees a lot if you need to. fold into a forward fold. You can just let your hands come with you. Keep a long back of neck though. Big stretch. Twist to your left just a little bit. And then twist to your right a little bit. Release your hands. Touch the blocks and step your left foot back to a deep lunge. Give yourself enough time here to really feel that stretch. And then lower your back knee. Hug to the midline. Come upright if you can. You can bring hands on thigh if you want to. And stretch your arms up. Anjane Asana. Good. Touch down. And lift your back knee and step back to down dog. You can stay on the blocks if you want. I'm going to have you lift the left leg up behind you, bend the knee, and then stack your left hip on top of your right, but your shoulders, both your shoulders stay square to the floor and open up to wild dog. Ooh. Feel the stretch. Your hip flexor, good. Square up the hips and step that foot through to deep lunge. Take a moment there. Good. Lower the back knee. Take your time setting up Anjane Asana. Really stretching out your hip flexor. Left hip crease stays back. Every breath can be a new learning experience. Look for the good in your pose. Also look for the lessons that it imparts. Can I make it more stable, but yet really open up and show my heart? Good. And touch down. Lift the back knee. Step back. Downward facing dog. Extend the right leg. I always keep a little baby bend in my standing leg. Bend the right knee. Stack the hip on top of the other hip. Wild dog. Left shoulder doesn't sag. It keeps really strong. Enjoy that. And then square up the hips. Bring the knee towards the nose and step it through. Deep lunge. Good. Ground the back foot down. And come on up to a warrior two. Just checking. Knee tracking straight. Weight in both feet. Now just a little reverse. So left hand down, right arm up and over if you can. You can go just straight up if you want. Good. Keep the front knee bent. Come back. Warrior two. And windmill down. We'll turn the back heel up. Back. Down dog. And one knee and the other. Extend the left leg and the knee. Open up wild dog now that you know where we're going. Good. Square the hip. And knee to nose to step that foot through. Deep lunge. Round the back foot down. Come on up. Warrior two. Reverse it. Just go slow. See what you're feeling. Keep, even though you're arcing towards the right, see how engaged you can keep the core and keep the length. Good. Back to warrior two. And windmill down. Turn the back heel up and step back. Down dog. Just step the blocks off for a moment. And down dog. And do either child's pose or a sweet vinyasa, your choice. So inhale, plank. Exhale down. Inhale to cobra. Exhale down. Downward facing dog. And walk your feet up towards your hands to a forward fold. Make sure your feet are hip distance. Grab your blocks and bring them by your feet. And you might want them on the higher height. You're going to get to decide that. You can decide now, or you can decide when we get into the pose. So step your left foot back and only about 2.5, 3 feet so you can ground the heel down. So you can feel weight in both feet. So your right heel, your right sits bone, your left heel, your left sits bone are aligned. And then maybe fold. Keep weight in both heels, both big toes. And then come up like a pranam. Bring your right hand to your hip. Now don't let anything in the lower body change, just twist to your right. Twisted triangle. I'm going to turn mine to the higher height because then I can twist a little more, feel that back heel grounded, and maybe feel like my right shoulder stacked on the left so I can extend the arm, broaden the clavicles, really extend into that. Right hip crease stays back. Good, stretch down. Square it up again. Bend into your front knee and step forward. Switch sides, right foot back. Right heel, right sits bone, left heel, left sits bones, left leg straightens. And maybe fold a little deeper. Right hand stays on the block, left hand to the hip. Rotate open, left hip crease stays back. Maybe extend the arm, twisted triangle. Nice. Draw your low belly up. Lengthen your spine. Good. And touch down. Bend into your front knee and step forward. Forward fold. You can set the blocks off to the front. Come down to a deep squat. Everything stretch back out. And then slowly lower to your bum and come on down to your back. Let's take a moment here. Build a nice neutral spine. Feel how open your heart is. Maybe even feel that energy of your heart. Bringing your hands down by your hips. Right underneath. Shoulder blades underneath. Lift on up to Setu Bandha. Just roll around to get the shoulders underneath, and maybe you can interlace your hands there. And instead of pushing away with your feet to get your hips high, think of isometrically pulling them forward or towards you so that you can engage the hamstrings and then press straight down to lift up. Mostly just lift the heart. And release the hands, release the hips. And then bring the feet a little closer to your bum and lift your heels up. And then press into the big toe mound, the little toe mound, all the toe mounds, and lift your feet, your hips up again. And keep your hands flat for stability. Lift your heart. Lengthen the back of your neck. And then set the heels down and lower all the way down. Hug your knees into your chest. And roll the knees side to side. Just massage your low back. And then release your feet to the floor again. I'm going to give you the option of doing that again, or if you want to try a back bend, place your hands so that your fingers point towards your shoulders. It's hard to get the heel of the hand down. You can move it around, feel it. Think shoulder blades on the back, broaden the clavicles, press into your feet, lift your hips. Want to lift to the top of your head and lift up. And come on back down. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let your knees open. Feel how expansive your breath is. When you get your heart open like that, I think you can breathe deeper. And bringing your knees up, bring the feet wider for you windshield wipers or whatever will calm your legs and your back. A lot of effort in your quads. Do those kind of moves. And then go ahead and stretch your legs long, stretch your arms up over your head, stretch long both directions. Yeah, kick your blocks over if you need to. Get them out of the way. And then, like you're making a snow angel, just bring your arms back around down by your side. And move into Shavasana. In case you want to do any more calming poses, feel free. Otherwise, tap into the calming power of your breath and let go with every exhalation. Allow the floor to support you fully. No longer have to hold any muscle energy. Be one with your sacred body. Letting it breathe and relax fully. All of the life functions continue to happen. Each of your cells. Maybe you feel the pulsing or the energy of that happening in your body. few thoughts for you to think about from Sherry Carter Scott. You are enrolled in a full-time informal school called Life. Each day in this school, you will have the opportunity to learn lessons. You may like the lessons or you may hate them, but you have designed them as part of your curriculum. Why are you here? What is your purpose? Humans have sought to discover the meaning of life for a very long time. What we and our ancestors have overlooked, however, in the course of this endless search, is that there is no one answer. The meaning of life is different for every person. Each person has his or her own purpose and distinct path, unique and separate from anyone else's. As you travel your life path, you will be presented with numerous lessons that you will need to learn in order to fulfill that purpose. The lessons you are presented with are specific to you, and learning these lessons is the key to discovering and fulfilling the meaning and relevance of your own life. You can learn the basic lessons from your own body. And when you are ready for more advanced learning, a more advanced teacher is the universe. You will be presented with lessons in every circumstance that surfaces in your life. When you experience pain, you learn a lesson. When you feel joy, you learn a different lesson. For every action or event, there is an accompanying lesson that must be learned. There really is no way to avoid the lessons you are presented with, nor is there any chance that you will be able to skirt around the learning process. No matter what our age, there's still much to be learned. And notice the movement of the breath in and out. Travels through the nostrils, down the trachea, down into your lungs, expanding the lungs, diaphragm, and then moves back out, coming up the same way. When you're ready to move other things, start to move and wiggle. Slowly drawing your knees into your chest. Rolling to the side. Chin on up to seated. We have a king watching over us up there. Feel bring hands to heart center. thank you guys so much for practicing morning. Super needed it. I hope you did too. And I bow to the beauty and the light and hope that emanates from each of you. Namaste. And have a fabulous weekend. Can't believe it's Friday already. Feels like I am messed up.